With the recent surging popularity of creating live-action superhero shows and cartoon reboots, it makes sense to think about what if our favorite shape-shifting hero got his spotlight shifted to the live-action scene. I'm Hurshie Lee, and today I'm going to expand upon this possibility and see what it has to offer to us fans in this episode of Freeze Frame. Intro, go! In 2019, there were rumors that a live-action Ben 10 series was in the works at Warner Brothers Studios. To better grasp the possible future of what a Ben 10 live-action series looks like, we should probably take a look at its past. Ben 10 Race Against Time and Ben 10 Alien Swarm were direct-to-TV films that gave us our first look at Ben 10 in a real-world setting. Although these films were received very well by the fans, at least one glaring issue, if any, was the lack of alien transformations in the movies. Of course, this is likely due to budget constraints, which is unavoidable. The number of alien transformations from both movies with a combined runtime of 2 hours and 37 minutes is 7. Almost 3 hours of film for 2 movies about a hero who could turn into 10 different aliens, and we only got to see 7 in 2 years. The good thing about these constraints, in my opinion, is that less transformations can lead to more story-driven plot. More situations where Ben can't punch his way through. The highlight of the show doesn't need to be him taking down villains every episode in a new, flashy way. We'd get the chance to continue to see Ben build on relationships and earn the respect and admiration that someone with the title Hero of Heroes would deserve. I have an idea of how I'd want something like that to go. The series starts with a young adult Ben Tennyson visibly frustrated with boredom in Bellwood, and much like the ending of Omniverse, he's ready for a road trip. Max tips him off to try working for the plumbers full time, and Ben decides to remove the Omnitrix and take a position with a squad of plumbers who work under the Magistrato. I believe that a story involving Ben closely working with the plumbers would be a great direction for a series, and provide a lot to work with as far as providing diverse environments for characters to interact with, and the possibility to expand on pre-established lore, like the plumber's creation or Max's adventures in his youth. Ben could discover how to work better with the team, develop as a leader, and visit and live amongst the alien races that he would represent using the Omnitrix. I'd imagine that the Rooters could be expanded on and used as recurring villains that Ben has to deal with while trying to stop the true big bad of the series. Since the Rooters have more advanced technology than the plumbers, it's possible that they could take up the mantle of powerful tech arm dealers that Kevin left behind at the beginning of Alien Force. This would expand their influence and connections greatly, making them a stronger force to combat as a rogue plumber's operation. The ID mask used throughout the series can also be a useful way to have other alien supporting characters show up, but still help save on budget. Similar to how Martian Manhunter is handled on Supergirl, where they do have him use his alien form and alien powers, but when not in the middle of battle, conceals his identity as a human. Option B in my mind would be something like a total reboot, not pulling from any of the canon history or the original continuity, and being a completely new Ben discovering the Omnitrix and his journey to find out what it can do and where it came from. This direction would be better if this Ben didn't have the watchful eye of a former plumber, Grandpa Max, and guiding him through complicated situations, like Ben 23. Just this Ben doesn't turn into a jerk, or maybe he still does. Best case scenario, if a live action series does well enough, it could very well get multiple same universe spin-off shows. Could you imagine a world where we have a live action Secret Saturdays, Generator Rex, and Ben 10 all running at the same time and crossing over with each other, just like the Arrowverse on the CW? That'd be incredible. I know many of you might disagree, but I do think the CW would be a good home for this series. They have the most experience with these types of dramatic action shows, and have been on a recent hot streak with newer DC titles like Superman and Lois and Stargirl. But even though I'm mostly only thinking about a series here, there's always the possibility of a feature film instead. This may even be the best direction, because it's more likely it'd have the budget needed to lift those restraints on the use of special effects and CGI. Ben 10 is owned by Warner Brothers, who have had recent attempts at creating cinematic universes in one way or another. The Flash, which is currently filming now, has been in talks to follow a Flashpoint-like storyline, which could open up the multiverse for the DCEU films. And Scoob, which was the first entry into the Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe, both products of Warner Brothers. A popular topic while we are discussing the subject would be the cast. I've seen a few different fan casts online, but they all seem to have one thing in common: Tom Holland as Ben Tennyson. Here's what Tom has to say about this. Alright, now we can move on. It should be noted that Tom Holland has gone on record saying he is not interested in playing Ben Tennyson, but perhaps the right pitch could change his mind. Although recently, Ryan Kelly, the actor who portrayed Ben in Alien Swarm, has expressed interest in reprising the role, if given the opportunity.
Is there a dream role you really wish you could play?
So Ben 10 was my first dive into supernatural things. You know, that's the thing about Ben 10 that's so amazing is I would trip out going to set. I'm like, dude, this is the dream. So in terms of a dream role, it'd be something with supernatural. I truly enjoy that. Maybe my own series, or honestly, I know this pertains to what we're talking about, but I would have killed to been able to do the second and third film, or even just do another Ben 10 movie with today's CGI.
I mean, why Tom anyways? It's always Tom. He's Peter, he's Nathan. I mean, seriously, let Tom have a break. Every time there's like a teenage role or just a slightly younger person role, they're like, you know what? You know who could do this? Tom Holland. I bet he probably could do it. Let Tom have a break. He's tired. Fuck. I personally don't have very strong opinions on who I'd like to play the main cast in a series like this, but I do enjoy seeing everyone else's ideas for the cast. I'm sure you might have heard that they are already working on a Powerpuff Girl reboot at the moment. And if you didn't, well, there you go. That is a thing that is totally happening. Well, at least it was happening, and then now it's not. Look, I'll give you a few details. On August 24th, 2020, it was announced that the CW had greenlit a live-action series featuring the Powerpuff Girls. Here's the plot that they gave. It would depict Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup as disillusioned 20-somethings resentful at losing their childhood to fighting crime and faced with the choice of reuniting when the world needs them more than ever. Questions that were immediately asked were, is Craig McCracken, the original creator of the Powerpuff Girls, involved with the reboot? And that seemed to be a no. He wasn't. The fans were worried that converting the Powerpuff Girls into a dark and gritty drama was a terrible idea, and due to the pilot script being leaked online, it looks like they were right. The pilot is now being delayed so they can reimagine the show, which is probably for the best. I do have high hopes for something like this, mostly because of the actors they brought on board. Chloe Bennett as Blossom, Donald Faison as Mojo Jojo, and even Tom Kenny returning as the narrator, as just a few. What we can be sure of is that the networks are listening to fans, maybe now more than ever. But of course, this is the right thing to do on their end. They want to have a successful show, and to get that, you have to make your audience happy. Is this the right move, or is this just a warning for more danger to come? How would you do a live action Ben 10, or even Powerpuff Girls? Should there be one at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. You can stay up to date with all of our projects on Patreon and our Discord. You can also watch us stream weekly on our second channel, The Rust Bucket. And if you want to read our comic or get commissions, you can visit theinktank.co. All of these links are below. My name is Hurshie Lee. Until next time, bye.